Thanks for staying with us on The Spin Room, and we're back with our weekly segment, Creative Side, where we meet the authors, the screenwriters, the directors and actors behind new and upcoming books and films about this region and more. It's an honor this week to be joined by Dr. Michael CALVO, an expert in international law, to discuss his new book, The Middle East and World War III, Why No Peace. Dr. CALVO, thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure, and I'm holding up the book here. It's a massive book, by the way. It's huge, and a very dramatic title. Will World War III start here in Israel, and when?
No, it has already started a long time ago. In 2011, already Boaz Ganor, who is a professor at IDC in Israel, stated that we enter World War III.
We're in the midst of World War III right now.
And at the same time, in 2014, the Pope Francis said we enter World War III.
Who are the people fighting in this World War III? Who's against who? Who is it?
Oh, it's very simple. Nobody wants to say openly, but it is a war between the Muslim world and the rest of the world.
Between the Muslims and the rest of the world.
Yes, and also between Muslims and Muslims.
As we can see in Syria, for example.
Not exactly that, but there are this, of course, because it's Shiite and Alawite and Sunni. But inside the Sunni world, there is a war with the leaders who are compromising with the infidels, as they call it.
Okay, and also in your title, you ask, why not peace? So why not?
Why not?
And are we heading towards this Armageddon that you mentioned? Or?
Because it is not a territorial conflict which could be resolved by giving land. It's something which is different. It's a religious, theological, and metaphysical problem that we are having here in the Middle East. The Muslims do not accept the return of the Jews on their land. This is very very difficult for them, even though the Quran says that we are going, I mean, the Jews will come back in crowds in the land. And we have another problem with the Iranians, who are thinking that the Mashiach, their Mashiach,
the Messiah,
the Mahdi, will come when Armageddon will come. It's a very strange thinking. They do not think that the prophecies are here to teach us that we have to take steps to prevent these kind of things to happen.
And you claim in the book that there's this systematic use of terror by Palestinian leadership. What are some examples of this?
Oh, some example. They use the Arafat and Abbas use the same strategy. When it fitted them, there were acts of terror. When it didn't fit them, there was no act of terror. For example, when they wanted to elect Netanyahu, to elect Barak and not Netanyahu.
Ehud Barak instead of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yes. They did stop attacks.
Was in 2000. 99.
Yes.
99.
And then after that, when 2001, when they wanted to have Sharon elected and not Barak, do you remember that Barak and all the left went to the USA and went to discuss with them? And at the same time, when there were negotiations, for example, at the time of disengagement. At the time of disengagement from Gaza.
2005.
Yes, there was no attack, just to have the disengagement to occur, the eviction to occur. But after that, immediately after, there were attacks to demoralize.
You're saying that they time it to events or international events?
Yes. Zinni, for example, when the General Anthony Zinni,
one of the U.S. envoys.
When he came here to negotiate, to stop the attacks.
Yes.
There were attacks. And recently, when Greenblatt came,
Jason
Greenblatt came, there were attacks, just to show that there will be no peace and no possibility to peace.
Speaking about Jason Greenblatt, what do you make of this administration, the U.S., the Donald Trump's administration, very different attitude towards mediating in this conflict?
It's not that. I mean, I would say that it's not exactly that. The Obama administration was very negative, and they were against Israel and against the possibility to have an agreement which will fit to the Israeli population. I am very glad that Trump, I am perhaps alone in the United States to think that, except those who voted for President Trump.
Yeah.
But I am very glad that Mr. Trump was elected president of the United States, and that he has some people like Jason Greenblatt and other.
Yeah, and I just, you know, we're seeing here in the video, and I can also hold it up, but your book is one of the first, I think, one of the first books that has multimedia in it. You can actually, there it is, we can see it right there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
If I can, it with your phone.
If I can show you what we can do with.
Well, I don't know if they'll see it on the camera here, but what happens is you scan it with your phone. And
yes,
what comes
I
up is
scan
like
with a QR code,
videos,
and then you can get the video. For example, there is a very nice video on the way that the suicide bombers are trained.
Yeah, here it is. We can see it right now. That's what happened, and then it comes.
Yes, this is something different. Yes,
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. How's the book being received so far?
I had 3 articles in Israel written. One in the Jerusalem Post by Alan Baker, who was ambassador of Israel to Canada, and he was a former the head of the legal department.
And I see that your forward is by Colonel Richard KEMP.
KEMP, who is that you know probably, who accepted after a month to write. I didn't know him.
And just to wrap it up, how do you see this thing ending, if at all? I know you say that we're in the middle of World War III, but I mean, do you see a 2-state solution or a 1-state solution, or where do you think this is heading?
Before that, I would like to say that there was another article in the Jerusalem Report by David Bedein, who is the director of.
And very quickly, what do you think about the future? Where we're heading?
The future. You can be very pessimistic, but you can be very optimistic. You have to. We have to teach.
Where do you stand?
We have to teach our Muslim cousins that if they want Armageddon, they will get it. But the prophecies and the Quran speaks about that.
Okay.
The prophecies are here to prevent that to occur. So they have to make their mind.
All right.
Make up their mind and think that we are here to stay because it's the will of God.
Okay.
And no one else.
Dr. Michael CALVO, thank you very much for coming on the Spin Room. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kaufman.
Stay with us. When we come back, it's time to wrap up the show with Dan Raviv and Raviv Reveals. Stick around.